All right, let's get into the AFC title game. Yes, you heard it. Jarrett Stidham against the Patriots. Patriots traveling to Denver. Let's take a look at the DraftKings prices in this game. Of course, Drake May is at the top of the board for $6,000. Ramondre Stevenson right behind him as well. And then R.J. Harvey, assuming Denver's going to want to run the ball a lot in this one, Matthew, although I'm not convinced New England's just going to allow that.
I'm not either, and there's a chance that he's splitting work. J.K. Dobbins has returned to practice, and so there's a chance that J.K. Dobbins is out there. I mean, he's out there, and
if not now, when?
Huh?
If not now, when?
If not, I mean,
They'd better hope he's out there.
If he's not out there,
they need all the help they could get.
That's right. The less you can, in an ideal world, that's what you do, is you just try to do a run heavy, protect Stidham, run a Carolina offense. I mean, seriously, where you're protecting Bryce Young and you just kind of try to control the clock. That's, I think, what they'll do. I do think I'd probably pay up for the Patriots defense at 3,500, right? 9 sacks and 6 turnovers in their first 2 playoff games. They've played pretty well. Jarrett Stidham, we just don't know, what kind of game we're going to get from him.
What do you make of Stidham? Because I'm very curious about just your breakdown of him as a player, as a man, and what he's going to do on Sunday.
He might be involved in my pickup line.
Oh, wow.
Jarrett Stidham.
Really?
I think Jarrett Stidham is one of the more underrated backups in the league in terms of the situation he's in. Sean Payton went out and paid him to be a $6 million per year backup for a reason. He knows that he can put anything on him with the offense. Maybe the less running stuff that you see from Bo Nix. I don't know if you're going to ask Stidham to do that, but I still think they'll challenge all 3 levels of the field as a passer.
Yeah,
there's no arm limitations. It's not like Jake Browning.
Yeah,
I'm a little more confident in Stidham, I think, than the public. I'm not saying they're going to go win the game, but I think people will be like, wow, Jarrett Stidham looks completely fine.
I would be too.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would be too. I think they're going to have to at some point. They're going to try to test these DBs much like they did with Bo Nix against the Bills. We know the Bills have one of the better pass defenses in the league, but when it came down to it, especially on those 2 pass interference calls, Bo Nix was testing them in the secondary. I think they'll do the same thing because they're not going to just be able to line up and run the ball against the Patriots are good against the pass and the run, but they're a little bit better against the run. And when you have a backup quarterback on the other side of the ball, you got to go make him win that game.
Yep. My 3 things with Stidham. 1, there's a lot of easy buttons in this offense. Sean Payton will scheme up some easy throws for him. 2, he was awesome in the preseason, which you can read into that, what you want. Zach Wilson was great his first preseason. Sometimes that's misleading, but he was the #1 graded passer by PFF in the preseason. And then 3, I'm old enough to remember 3 and a bit years ago, Jarrett Stidham almost cost me an ungodly amount of money in a late season game against the San Francisco 49ers, who had I believe they had the #2 defense in the NFL that year. That was when D'Amico Ryans was the defensive coordinator. Sitting there watching this game being like, how is this Stidham bloke absolutely tearing apart the Niners defense? Why hasn't Nick Bosa killed him yet? And he was awesome in that game. And so he does have, at least, it's a very small track record, but he has flashed really strong moments in the NFL.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's any given Sunday, but I agree with you. I'm 5.5. What did this line move? Patriots are favored by 5.5 here. Jay, when Bo Nix went down, how did it move?
Yeah, so I think the look-ahead line was Broncos -1.5. I actually think, oddly, you have to downgrade the Broncos defense a little bit for that Buffalo game because the Bills marched all over the field against them. And the turnovers they generate, that's great plays. But at the same time, that's not as sustainable. On a play-to-play level, the Bills torched them. So I think the Broncos defense gets a bit of a downgrade. But, I think the line would have been Broncos -1, maybe pick. The thing is, this Patriots defense has gotten better and gotten healthier, particularly with Milton Williams back. So I think that the line is saying that Jarrett Stidham is worth somewhere between 5.5 and 6 points, that type of range. That's a lot. And Bo Nix was really good. Yeah, Bo Nix was really good against the Bills, and I think he's turned the corner a bit since he had a really rough stretch in the middle and start of the season. But, it's a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, I might take the Broncos to cover here.
And speaking look, if I know they don't have Bo Nix, right? He played good. He didn't play a perfect game. He turned it over too, right? But if the Broncos you talk about it, they got gashed, and that's why I would actually pay up for Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
He was the same price as Drake May there. I would pay up for him because you saw how James Cook gashed him, 24 carries, 117 yards, and if you feel like they're going to win the game, you go with the running back who's going to get the most carries. He's also had 5 straight games with 12-plus fantasy points, but the Broncos could beat the Bills at home. They for sure could beat the Patriots at home. Like, the Patriots have been going up against quarterbacks who've gotten a lot of pressure on them. C.J. Stroud was bad. Justin Herbert got sacked 5 times. So, if they could go out there and just be an opportunistic defense, get turnovers. Drake May's been turning the ball over these playoffs. So, you put that together with the Denver defense, I think Patriots want to try to run the ball.
The Broncos' offensive line is also 10 times better than what's left of the Chargers and just flat out better than the Texans.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What do you think of this Broncos defense? Because I can't remember a defense that, like, the past 2 years, by pretty much every measure, this has been a top 3 defense in the league. Yet whenever they play an elite quarterback, they get torched, like, every time.
Right, and look at the game Jackson Dart had against them, too, where it was pretty eye-opening. They're a very good defense until they have that game against a quarterback like Drake May. People are going to wonder, how are they great, right? They have great players, Nick Bonito and Pat Surtain and John Franklin Myers and Zach Allen, but it feels like they get a little exposed in the middle of the field at times with the lack of foot speed. They are aggressive, so they give up some big plays, but they're a very, very good unit, and they're going to be hunting turnovers, like Lawrence said.
And to that point, I just think as you're thinking about, like, if you're playing DFS, you're doing picks for this week. I do think Demario Douglas becomes kind of interesting. Pop Douglas scored the touchdown last week as well. Is going to avoid Pat Surtain. He plays primarily in the slot. I also think Stephon Diggs here in a game where they can move him all around. I see Keyshawn Boutte here at 4,500. I know he's had at least 65 yards in both playoff games here, but I suspect Pat Surtain will be on him the most. And so
I wonder how much traveling they do in this game. You don't want to let Diggs eat you alive, so
right? Because he will.
Yeah, because he will. But
Pat Surtain doesn't always follow. Sometimes
it's going to be very game specific. We're going to see.
They would much rather go at the other guy, Riley Moss. But if you saw, even against the Texans, it took the Patriots a while to get going. Stingley, like, he had stuff on lock, and then Keyshawn Boutte gets the deep ball, so that contributed to him getting the.
Yeah, he made an unbelievable catch. Like an insanely great one-handed catch in the snow.
Good coverage by Stingley on that play. But I think the thing with the Broncos defense, and if you're looking at Patriots pass catchers and Drake May, they're an elite defense, but they're an elite defense where they're like high variance, where they get a lot of sacks. They also give up a lot of deep passes because I think they trust their corners on an island.
They blitz a ton.
Yeah. It's very aggressive. Whereas like the Seahawks, they just give you nothing. Like, you can't do anything against them. Yeah. Same with the Texans. They don't really give you that much, although they do allow some deep passes. But, I think that this will be high variance, and if Drake May is connecting on his deep ball, then this defense can be had.
Yeah, I think I'll just say overall, I think this game is closer and more competitive than people think it will be. And I agree with your point that I think people are thinking Jarrett Stidham's going to come in and just flop. It's going to look like Jake Browning did this year, and it's just like the Patriots are going to roll, and I don't think that's the case at all. Nick Foles with the tweet of the week, right? But whether it's Nick Foles or Jeff Hostetler or even Taylor Heineke, who lost, but Taylor Heineke gave Tom Brady the toughest game during the Buccaneers' march to their Super Bowl. Right. We have seen backup quarterbacks, have these moments where there's not a lot of. By the way, if you're the Patriots, if you're Mike Vrabel and his staff, there's not a lot of tape on Jarrett Stidham either to look through and exploit as well. So I'm kind of rooting for the Broncos.
Listen,
backup is always fun to root for.
It's one game. You're all NFL players at the end of the day. Like, Jarrett Stidham knows he's got a defense that could produce some turnovers, and like I said, they're on defense. They're gonna get after Drake May. They've been having a little trouble with that. So Stidham will have his opportunities to maybe be that new Nick Foles.
Here's my question to you, Jay, because you're a good judge of this, because you're one of them yourselves. In terms of annoyingness for the general public, right? Because you get annoyed easily. You annoy other people very easily.
So I feel like
this is
never.
I'm going to tell you. What do you think America would find more annoying in the Super Bowl? the Patriots
Sure.
and all their fans coming, like, oh no, they haven't been there for 7 years, whatever it is. I mean, the Patriots, who are the most winningest NFL franchise in history, getting back to the Super Bowl with, you lucked out with Tom Brady. And, oh wait, what? Now you have another franchise quarterback? All right. So, and Boston fans are, not shy.
Sure.
Or the Broncos getting in and Sean Payton, who, kind of a little smug Sean Payton getting another team to a Super Bowl, second year with his second-year rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Was he the fourth or fifth quarterback drafted of that class? Because he went after Penix.
Bo was sixth.
Did he go after McCarthy?
After
went after
McCarthy,
McCarthy.
Yeah, we
Penix.
had Caleb, Jaden, Drake May, Penix,
Penix.
McCarthy.
So,
Yeah,
the sixth quarterback of that draft class, which, by the way, how insane is that draft class now as we look back on it? It's
crazy.
It's everyone but McCarthy.
Yeah, literally. And Penix
Well,
again,
yeah,
so that's
yeah.
kind of like pending.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, just like...
But everybody has had like an
Legit
infinite amount
respect.
of success. Like it's crazy.
Like every single, those four have been, you're like, Nix, May, Williams, Daniels, you're like, okay, that's a franchise quarterback. That's a guy we can build around for the next decade.
Yeah, the Patriots are more annoying. Like in terms of, I think it'd be a better spectacle because Drake May in the Super Bowl is
That's right.
probably, more compelling. But the Patriots getting back to the Super Bowl. Like all these tweets about second graders in New England, they finally know what it's like to see the Patriots in the AFC title game competing for the Super Bowl. But it is like it would be pretty insane for the Broncos to make the Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham having knocked off Josh Allen and Drake May en route. There would be a fairy tale aspect to that. Also, how crazy would it be if the Broncos, if they make the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl, that's 2 Super Bowls in 11 years, with the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks being Peyton Manning, who at that point may have been the worst quarterback in the league,
Right.
and Jarrett Stidham. Like, it would be
wild.
absolutely.
Let me tell you
absolutely
something, brother. If the Broncos make it, they're winning the damn game.
Yeah.
They're beating the Rams and the Seahawks.
I'd be able to get plus 8.5 on the Broncos.
And then
right,
Jarrett Stidham's going to have a whole media press tour, the whole he's just become a star.
Let's look at the notable player
I
props
believe
in this
the
game, by the way.
whatever winds up, I believe the NFC team will beat the AFC team. I prefer both NFC teams to both AFC
It'll be
teams.
Seahawks and Rams. They'll be either of them will be 8.5-point favorites against the Broncos thereabouts, and then 3.5-point favorites against the Pats, depending on how the games unfold.
Jay, you got some props for this game on the board?
Yeah, let's take a look at the notable player props in this game. Jarrett Stidham, he's probably the most compelling character here from a prop perspective, set at 199.5. Connor might tell us about Stidham in pickup lines later. Drake May at 230.5. The May prop that I like is May. His longest completion over 35.5 yards, where this Broncos defense, they do allow you to take deep shots. We're sure, like Josh Allen didn't complete any of the passes, but he took a lot of shots down the field. Just the nature of this defense is that they will leave guys on islands. They will put faith in Surtain to hold up down the field in coverage, etc. So I think Drake May, who has been statistically the best deep ball thrower in the NFL, I think he'll have a chance to get one deep. And then Ramondre and Travion, the 2 running backs, 48, 33.5. It's a little low for Travion Henderson, 33.5.
He came off the bad game, so I think they're kind of overcorrecting for that. But I agree with you. On the road at Denver, I think they're going to want to run that. You can run on Denver.
You don't think it's low for Ramondre, too?
That's the one.
He's crossed this easily in the 2 playoff games, and now it's 48. It's like, maybe that means they get back more to Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
But
I think both numbers are too low.
I think so, too.
Yeah, we'll see with this Broncos rush defense, because statistically in the regular season they were awesome. Now they played teams like the Jets and the Trey Lance Chargers and the Chris Oladokun Chiefs, which are buffering those numbers. And James Cook, outside of the fumble, he did whatever he wanted on the ground.
Whatever he wanted.
We'll see there. But this is the type of game from a prop perspective, like you want to lean into variance, because we can talk about Stidham. We don't really have any idea what he's going to be like. Like, he has such a wide range of outcomes, and there's a lot of stories that can be told off of that from a prop perspective.
Valiant Vincent said, give me R.J. Harvey's receiving prop no matter what it is.
Shoot.
I'm not sure about that, especially with J.K. Dobbins comes back and takes snaps
question.
away. I mean, I don't think he's going to take receptions away, but I do think he will take. I do think he'll take snaps away. I would actually. I understand the argument there, Valiant Vincent. But for me, I would say give me Courtland Sutton. I just think a backup quarterback is generally going to favor the alpha wide receiver, the number 1 guy there, especially because Pat Bryant banged up. Troy Franklin also banged up. So more narrow target tree. And then I just sort of feel like if you're the backup, your first read is likely always going to be 14, and you're just like, where's Big Cortland Sutton? Okay, let me try to get him the ball.
And that's what Jarrett Stidham has done in his starts.
Yeah, set of 51.5 receiving yards, Cortland Sutton. Don't want Evan Engram 21.5 if you're thinking that they're going to scheme him some, easy stuff, some completions over the middle. Yeah.
Again,
what was Harvey said at?
He doesn't have a line yet because the J.K. Dobbins uncertainty.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, trying to avoid Christian Gonzalez. I do think the middle of the field is where they'll attack.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.